What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today, we're going to talk about the C8 Corvette Z06 and the whole ownership warranty loss after trying to flip the car because some aspects of that has changed. We're also going to talk about how Chevrolet is adding a mandatory price to the actual 2023 Corvette that most of us don't really use. And we're also going to discuss the new Z06 Fuel Economy ratings, which have recently been revealed. So let's jump right into it because we got a lot to cover today. All right, guys, so as you heard there in the beginning, we are talking about three different topics today about the C8 Corvette in general, but two of them are Z06 related. So the first one is going to be the warranty issue. So if you guys are watching the channel, you already know about the fact that GM was removing the warranty from any cars sold before 12 months or a year of ownership to try to prevent people from flipping this car. Well, something has changed on GM's end, and now instead of 12 months or a year, they're now cutting that down to 6 months, or basically half a year. So if you buy the car, you have to own it for 6 months before you could sell it, or else the next person buying it would have no warranty, no bumper to bumper, and no powertrain warranty, as well as pretty much everything else that goes with the warranty would go out the window if you sell that car within the first 6 months. Now, after 6 months, you are free to do with the car as you please. Whether you like this policy or not, GM has kind of altered it. And we find this information today on the midenginecorvetteforum.com, but it is given to us officially from GM. So the notice was just issued by GM's North American president, Steve Carlisle, and it comes out to the dealers. And it says the following. Dear GM dealership team, this letter serves as an update to our communication on July 29th, where we outlined the retention requirements for our most in-demand launch products, which currently includes the 2023 model year Cadillac Escalade V, Chevrolet Corvette Z06, and they are reducing the first owner retention period from 12 months to 6 months, effective September 1st, 2022. So literally just today, this letter is now in full force. Consistent with our prior communication, initial owners who resell vehicles covered by this policy within the revised retention period will not be permitted to place future vehicle reservations or sold orders with GM, just like we had talked about in the past. All of the rest of it stays the same. The only difference is now you don't have to keep the car for 12 months. It's only 6 months now. So like I said, guys, whether you agree with this policy or disagree with it, it is slightly altered from the beginning, and now it's less time that you have to actually keep the car, which is pretty cool, I guess. But at the end of the day, a lot of us agree that flippers are not really the main concern here. It is mostly dealerships charging massive amounts of money over MSRP. Guys, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is again going to be the guys over at Hyperion. Now, the reason for a case like this is automotive theft. The signal that travels from the key to your car can actually be stolen, and then they can use that later to get into your car and steal it. Now, inside of this case, you can actually put your key right in there, close up the top, and now that signal is interrupted and it cannot be stolen. So this would be best at night, sitting beside your nightstand with your key in it, so no one could ever possibly do this to you. But anyway, guys, moving on to the next bit of Z06 information that is really interesting is the 2023 Corvette Z06 Fuel Economy ratings have been revealed. So this information comes to us from our friends over at the CorvetteBlogger.com, and it's pretty interesting. So you guys know the Corvette already has a relatively high gas guzzler tax, so we already knew the miles per gallon on this thing were probably not going to be that great, but at the same time, they're not that bad either. So the C8 Corvette Z06 without the Z07 package is going to be 12 miles per gallon in the city and 21 miles per gallon on the highway. Now, the car with the Z07 package is still the same for the city. It's still going to be 12 miles per gallon in the city, but it's going to be 19 miles per gallon on the highway because of that extra downforce and that extra drag. It does make for worse miles per gallon. So we already kind of knew that because the Z06 has a $2,600 gas guzzler fee, whereas the Z07 package has a $3,000 gas guzzler fee. So we knew there was going to be some difference there. But just so we're on the same page, 12 miles per gallon in the city and 21 on the highway is actually not terrible whenever we compare them to previous Corvettes of similar power. So the C7 Corvette Z06 had a 15 miles per gallon in the city and a 22 on the highway. So not a whole lot better there. And that was for the manual Z06. So for the automatic one, it was a little bit different. It was 14 in the city and 23 on the highway. Then we move on to, of course, the 2019 Corvette ZR1, which had 12 miles per gallon in the city and 20 highway, which is almost exactly what we're getting with the new Z06. So definitely interesting information here. Not for a second do I believe any of us are actually getting this car because of the gas mileage, but it is still nice to know where we are with all of the fees and everything associated with the car. And that includes nowadays how much it's going to cost you at the pump. So if you guys are interested in driving this car daily, be aware it might not necessarily be the best miles per gallon vehicle you can get. Now, lastly, the next piece of information is about the base C8 Corvette, but it also impacts the Z06 as well, because there is a mandatory $300 Onstar subscription being added to the price of any 2023 Corvette. So regardless of which model you buy, you are going to pay an extra $300 just because GM wants to include a subscription for $300, which will give you the ability to remote start and receive vehicle diagnostics and more. But it is going to be absolutely mandatory. Now, one of the coolest features of cars nowadays, I think, is the ability to control it from your phone. So I do like the idea that you would have the ability to unlock, remote start, and all that stuff from your phone. But at the cost of a mandatory $300, I'm not really 100% sure it's going about it the right way. So again, this information comes to us from our friends over at the CorvetteBlogger.com. And Keith starts out the article by saying, "We are in Bowling Green, Kentucky today for the start of the 28th anniversary show at the National Corvette Museum, and we already have a piece of news to share. Beginning September 1st, Chevrolet is now making a mandatory 3-year subscription to the OnStar application for everyone buying a 2023 Corvette Stingray or Z06. The cost of the subscription is obviously $300, and the app includes the ability to remote start, receive vehicle diagnostics, and more. This is a limited version of the OnStar app and doesn't include the ability to make calls or get turn-by-turn directions." In August, GM started adding 3-year subscription to OnStar and connected services for $1,500 to all Buicks and GMCs. While it's called an option, there is no way to opt out of it other than not using. General Motors has said it believes customers will pay for subscriptions services, and they are rolling out an ambitious plan to increase its revenue from subscriptions significantly by the end of the decade. GM's Steve Carlisle said the automaker is looking to offer customers more than 50 new fee-based digital features by 2026. Not necessarily the greatest news there, guys. I hate the idea of pay to play, so to speak, and it kind of seems like this is where this is moving towards. If you guys haven't been watching some of the automotive news coming out from other manufacturers, BMW is one of the first ones to actually charge a fee to use heated seats in their cars. So if you buy the car, you then have to add on the heated seat function later, and it is a subscription service. So if this is where the industry is moving, it's not necessarily the best direction in my opinion, but at the same time, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's not necessarily what GM is doing here, but it does definitely sound like it. Again, I'm a big fan of being able to use the phone for remote start and unlock features and stuff like that, so I kind of like the idea of it on one hand, but at the same time, it's not that big of a feature that needs to really be paid for, in my opinion, so it's kind of a catch-22. I'll leave it up to you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is this something that GM should be doing? Is it something you're going to pay for regardless? Let me know what your thoughts are down below. But guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. It really helps us grow, and it helps all the other Corvette enthusiasts see this information as well. I'm curious what your thoughts are about the 6-month reduction for the warranty issue with selling a Z06 before that full year is up. Let me know what your thoughts are about that as well. I'd love to engage in a conversation about it because it is something that is going to affect all of us. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. I'm going to have loads of content like this coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.